This is Jarrod Horak, and in this video, I'm going to analyze the Chilukki Stakes at Churchill Downs on Saturday, November 15th, and it goes as the third race. This is a Grade 3 event with a $300,000 purse for fillies and mares, 1 mile around one turn on the main track. Scheduled post time is 1:58 p.m. Eastern Time. First, we'll meet the field, then I'll give out my top contenders and wagering strategies. And the past performances in this video provided by todaysracingdigest.com. And if you need past performances for Churchill Downs for Saturday, November 15th, you can get the complete digest at todaysracingdigest.com. Now we'll meet the field. Number 1 in here is Impel, 9-2 morning line for trainer Brad Cox. This is a Juddmonte filly. Quality Road is the sire. 11 starts, 4 wins, 2 seconds and 2/3. Has won at Churchill Downs before and is 2 for 2 at this 1 mile distance. Florent Giroux is going to ride from the inside post. Will probably save ground tracking the pace. Number 2, Shred the Gnar, should be forwardly placed in here, making her first start since May 2nd. She won her last 2 starts easily, and she's 1 for 1 at this 1 mile distance, and she's 1 for 1 at Churchill Downs. Brian Lynch is the trainer. Luis Saez will ride this one. Number 3 is Literate for trainer Brad Cox. Jarrod Ortiz Jr. is going to ride this 10-1 shot, and she's run 17 times, 5 wins, 3 seconds and a third. She's 0 for 1 at Churchill Downs, and she ran well in both starts at this 1 mile distance. Number 4, Runaway Diva, 20-1 morning line with Jose Ortiz in the irons. Now she's 3 for 15, 5 runner-up finishes and 2 show finishes. She's yet to run at Churchill Downs, but she does like this distance. 4 starts, 2 wins, a second and a third. Zadorsky's number 5. This one's 15-1 morning line. 2-time local winner, has won at this 1 mile distance before, was well beaten. Last time out, beaten almost 8 lengths, and one Magic filly won that event, and that filly is in this event, and she is number 6, and she's 3-1. Brendan Walsh is the trainer. Tyler Gaffleone's going to ride this one. Her first local start, she finished second in her lone try at 1 mile. That was a 2-turn mile event, the Tranquility Lake Stakes, and she was second that day. That was a decent effort, and then moved to the Brendan Walsh barn last time. My top choice at Keeneland, optional claiming race, 6.5 furlongs. She won that race under Flavien Prat as the favorite. Number 7, Ragtime, rounds out the field. She's your 8-5 morning line favorite, and she's run 5 times with 3 wins, a second and a third place finish. She's putting blinkers back on in here for trainer Bill Mott. This is a daughter of Union Rags, a Godolphin filly. Junior Alvarado is going to ride back. She'll try to get involved from off the pace. She is 1 for 1 at Churchill Downs. This is her first start past 7 furlongs. All of her races were at 7 furlongs. And now I'm going to give out my top 5 contenders. I'm going to go from 5th to 1st, and then I'm going to give out my wagering strategies after that. And the horse that I picked to finish 5th in this event is the 3, Literate. This one at 10-1 morning line, moving to the Brad Cox barn for the first time. He's 29% with new additions to his barn. Jarrod Ortiz Jr. is going to get aboard. This is a good jockey trainer team. And for this one, her best races do give her a look, at least for a minor award. A look at the Trillium Stakes win, a Grade 3 event at Woodbine in July. She was able to win that one from off the pace by a half length. And then a 1-turn mile optional claiming event at Gulfstream Park. That was in March. And she tracked the pace in that main track event, and she won by more than 4 lengths. So she can handle the main track. She handles this distance, and good connections here. And maybe she can sneak in underneath at a price and help inflate the exotics payouts in this event. The horse that I picked to finish 4th is the 1, Impel, and this one is 9-2 for Brad Cox. And she's fairly consistent, 8 top 3 finishes from 11 starts. And she had back-to-back wins at 1 mile, and that was an optional claiming event at Churchill Downs in June, and she won that race, and she was about 3 lengths back, and she rallied from last in a 5-horse field to win that one by a length and a half. And then her stakes victory was in the Groupie Doll. That was at Ellis Park at 1 mile. That was on August 10th, and she was able to win that race by a head. And then the Gallant Bloom Stakes last time out. She was 4th, splitting an 8-horse field, show finisher, next out winner, and she just did miss 3rd that day. She should save all the ground tracking the pace, and Impel is one that could end up sneaking in there and running a decent race and at least hitting the board. My third choice is going to be the 7, and that's Ragtime, and she is your favorite. And she's been pretty busy this year for a 3-year-old filly. She ran in June, July, August, September, October, and now she's going to run in November. she's going steadily, and she just continues to run well with 3 wins, a second and a third place finish. Putting blinkers back on, the biggest concern here, she is stepping up to face older company, and a wide trip could be coming from the outside post, and she also likes to rally from off the pace in a race that doesn't have a ton of speed. So for Ragtime, definitely she's a contender, but she could end up taking too much money in this spot. And she has some decent Today's Racing Digest numbers. Looking at her final time ratings, she had a 129 in her debut, then a 144, a 135, a 137, and a 131. Pretty steady. She's going to run another solid race, probably get some kind of final time rating in the 130s. That puts her in the mix against these, but I don't want to take her as the favorite. The horse that I picked to finish second, that is Shred the Gnar, number 2. And this one ran well in all 3 starts. 6 furlong debut, just did miss, finishing second. And look at those final time ratings continue to climb up, and all of her ratings do. Second time out, a 1-turn mile at Gulfstream Park, and she romped by more than 6 lengths that day. And then last time out, a mile and a 16th at Churchill Downs, and she won by 7 lengths. So her last 2 wins by a combined 13 plus lengths. And looking at her numbers, final time ratings, 111 in her debut, then a 120, then a 135. Pace rating, she had a 132, a 138, and then a 153. And then her fire numbers, speed throughout a race for Today's Racing Digest. She had a 75, a 78, and then a 92. So as you can see, her numbers continue to climb, but this is her first start since May 2nd, so we'll have to see if she's ready off of the layoff in this event. She's a talented 3-year-old filly into Mischief the sire, Bernardini the dam sire, and I think she'll be right up on the pace in here, and we'll see if she's ready to run the 1 mile distance off of the layoff. I'm going to go with One Magic Filly again as my top choice, and I said I did pick her as my top choice last time out, and she ran a good race. That was at Keeneland, making her first start for Brendan Walsh. So I think she's ready to step back up into the stakes ranks, and I think she's kept the best company as well. Go all the way back to the Breeders' Cup last year when she was in the filly and mare sprints. Soul of an Angel Society were 1-2. She ended up finishing 6th. She was only beaten 2 lengths that day, and that was a tough Grade 1 event. And then she came in the La Brea Stakes was her next start. Copian, Splendora were 1-2. She was 6th in an 8-horse field. And then she finished behind Zeitlos in her first start this year, the Ski Pat Stakes at Pimlico. So she needed that race. The Great Lady M, she ran into Sweet Azteca and Copian. That was a tough race there. And then she ran into Splendora in the Tranquility Lake. Splendora would come back, and she would win the Breeders' Cup of filly and mare sprint this year. And then One Magic Filly came out of that race to win. And then the show finisher, Nothing Like You, also came back to win. So that was a key race, that Tranquility Lake. And then I liked her effort last time out. Moving to the Brendan Walsh barn at 6.5 furlongs, she was able to track from second and win that event. And then the runner-up was the Next Out Stakes winner in the Dream Supreme Stakes. So One Magic Filly is one that's been facing some tough company. I think this 1-turn mile is right in her wheelhouse, and I think that she can run a decent race in here. And then looking at her numbers for Today's Racing Digest, she has some good quality numbers. Her recent speed ratings, a 140, a 137, and a 147. And then her pace ratings, a 158, a 146, and a 150. So those pace ratings put her in the mix throughout. And then her last 3 fire numbers, a 97, a 94, and a 99. That is speed throughout a race. She's able to just keep going and have that speed at least go, I think, at least a 1-turn mile in here. And I think that she can get the job done in this event. And now it's time for wagering strategies. A win wager on the 6, One Magic Filly. We'll play an exacta box with the 2 and 6. Shred the Gnar, One Magic Filly. Trifecta key. We're going to key the 6 over the 2 and 7, and then a superfecta key. The 6 in here over the 1, 2, 3, and 7. And those horses are Impel, Shred the Gnar, Literate, and Ragtime. And that'll do it for this video. And if you're interested in my full card analysis, I offer full cards each day that Del Mar runs, and they're going to be running from November 14th through November 30th. So they're running 3 days this week, 3 days next week, and then 3 days for their closing week. You can get my full cards at todaysracingdigest.com on my handicappers page at that website. You can also get my full cards at my website, therunawayhorse.com, on my shop page. Don't forget to like, comment, and share these videos if you like them. Subscribe to my channel as well. It's free to subscribe. And I'll be back with some Aqueduct Stakes races for Saturday, November 15th, and using today's Racing Digest data in those later this week. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.